Hello. So today I thought we would do a channeled message about manifesting um, and see what comes through. That's it. Okay, so as you know, if you've seen my channel before, there's probably going to be a lot of weird eye fluttering that's going on. I'm going to put myself into state, which will just take me a couple of seconds to do it, and then we'll see what comes through. So the intention behind today, manifesting. Okay, you guys ready? And by the way, thanks for liking, sharing, and subscribing to this channel and sharing these messages with your friends. Okay, when manifesting, it is important to note that raising your vibration will bring you more pleasurable manifestations. Constantly, second by second, moment by moment, every single second of your life, you are manifesting. Most people are unaware of this because they are living in the same vibration that they have lived in for a long, long time. So the same things happen over and over and over because they have the same thought patterns, followed by the same feelings and the same actions. This is why they don't recognize the manifestations that are in front of them because they are so familiar and the same thing just happens over and over and over. Let's say that you want to manifest a certain particular item. The best way to manifest this item is to raise your vibration to the frequency, to the vibration, to the feeling that you will get when it's yours. Let's say that you wanted to manifest a chair. I want you to think about what it would feel like to sit in that chair and how it feels when you very first find or get or receive that chair. Now, as you think about that, you will notice that there's a kind of shock of a raise of a vibration of a, ooh, that feels really good. An excitement, a good excitement that is there, the feeling that is there. All it takes is for that feeling to be felt and recognized and then to be sustained in that same raised vibrational frequency for a certain period of time. I'm seeing this as a couple of hours, but I'm being told this depends on the person. Let's say, for example, you are a person who has had a very low vibration for a very long time. This means you have been stuck in anger and resentment, confusion, restlessness, sadness, worry, stress, things along these nature, revenge. Those vibrations are very powerful. All feelings are very powerful, but those feelings can become habitual. I was going to say addictive, but the word habitual came. When we are living in that vibration and we allow ourselves momentarily to raise our vibration to manifest something like a chair or whatever it is that your heart desires, this still works. However, you must raise that vibration for a couple of hours consistently. This can be done intentionally with the purpose of knowing I am doing this to receive that thing. Now, the problem with this is when that manifestation comes to you, you will be open and you will receive it. But because of the habitual thinking of the past, it won't last long. And eventually, you won't care about that manifestation. You want it because you think that it will raise your vibration. You're always after the feeling. But items, material possessions, don't raise our vibration more than very momentarily. The way to be able to manifest the life that you want and that feeling that you're actually after is to raise your vibration permanently. The only way that you can do this effectively is by mentally cleansing away the past hurts and traumas that caused your vibration to be lowered in the first place. Now, some of us were born at a lower vibration. We already came into this world at a bit of a lower vibration due to past lives or interactions that happened in the womb or very young infancy. Why did this happen? These particular people have chosen this for themselves because there is a lot of learning that comes from having to heal the hurts and the traumas from the past. It causes expanding growth. So for those of us who came into this world at a lower frequency, remember, we chose this. We are choosing this so that we can learn and grow from it. So if this happens to be you right now, if you have resentments or angers or deep sadness or worries or stress or apprehensions, fears, then you must know these are opportunities for learning and growth. You need to understand what you have learned from the circumstance that you are angry or resentful, or that you feel guilty or shameful about. There is much learning that can come from this. So the word compassion comes in. So I think that has to do with guilt and shame. If we are guilting and shaming ourselves, this is an opportunity for us to develop compassion. So think about the vibration of guilt and shame and what that actually feels like. It's very low frequency. However, when we take the learning from it, the compassion that can come from this is a raised vibrational frequency. This is what we're after. Growth. You have then grown from this vibration up to this vibration. This is what we're after when we're looking to manifest. If you want to manifest instantaneously, you can do that through belief. There can be no doubt present in full realized belief. The full realization of belief, of creation, of why we are really here, can be a difficult concept to grasp. As we are developing this awareness of the truth of creation, of our reality, we will have momentary insights that come to us that allow us, if we choose, to raise our vibrational frequency. Here's something you can do. I want you to make a list of all of the lower vibrational frequencies that you are still in. My assessment that I have online on my website comes to mind. This could be helpful for you guys to just have subject titles to see where you're at on the scale. I want you guys to make a list of the states that you regularly, so meaning daily, would go into. These could be things like states of anger, frustration, guilt, shame, anxiety, worry, fear, stress, sadness, depression. The list can go on. As you make that, I want you to write these things down that are these lower frequencies. Become aware of how many times a day approximately, of course this is almost impossible to be accurate. Don't be apprehensive about it. How many times a day that angry, sad, worried, anxious, fearful, whatever thought would come into your mind. As you look at your list, you can become then very aware of the parts inside of you that still need growth and learning. Because all of these things should not be present in your life if you are living at a raised frequency. Raising your frequency is the most important step in manifesting rapidly. For example, I manifest things very rapidly, typically the same day. Sometimes it might take a couple of days. If it is something bigger that requires other people to be a part of it, it might even take a couple of months. This is because I have a very raised frequency that for the most part flows through me. Typically, my vibration has been recently, the past several months, at about 98% raised. This leaves 2 entire percent to be at that lower frequency. This is the amount of growth that I still need until I can achieve that state of 100% raised frequency all the time. In this 2%, personally for me, there is sadness and worry that is present. It might seem very small, this 2%, and it is. I don't even recognize it coming up in my day, because as soon as something comes up, I immediately dismiss it and raise my vibration. The best way to deal with something like this remaining 2% that is there is to set aside an allotted time to focus on that, to raise that vibrational frequency that is there. The only way to do this is by healing the past trauma that is still present and running its old program in my life. I have been doing this for several months very consistently. Following the feeling, regressing it back, that means going back to when it began, regressing it back, and healing what happens to be there. I always use divine heavenly light to heal it. This maybe sounds very woohoo to you, but this means you can do this for yourself as well. Once you have made your list, all you need to do is choose the one topic that you want to work on that day. Let's say that it's anger for the purpose of this exercise. You would then allow yourself to sit in that anger. As you feel it, people will come into your mind, thoughts will come into your mind. I want you to take yourself back into that state and that place when it very first began, when the anger came. You are then going to raise yourself up out of that scene and observe it as the observer would observe what is happening down below. As you do this, there is many things that you can do. You can give your younger self advice on how they might feel better, on how they might heal from this. You can give yourself compassion for what it is that they went through. You can imagine the other person, if this is anger at another person and not at yourself, you can imagine and envision forgiveness. The best way to work through forgiveness is to first tell that person off. Maybe it's you that you need to tell off. You would do this in a meditative state. You could imagine the other person across from you or yourself and telling them what it is that you're angry about. Unleash, let them have it. Once you have done that, I want you to imagine here for a moment that that person then shrinks down into their very young self. Maybe this is you, maybe this is someone else. As they do, I want you to see that they were not loved properly. And that the reason that they did what they did is because they don't know how to love properly. Because they were not loved properly. This can be very helpful to see. It can be very helpful to see that person as their younger version rather than the version and the character that they were playing at the time when they hurt you. As you begin to heal this bit by bit, you would then use this brilliant, white, divine light, this brilliant, white, bright, white, divine light, and allow that to come in. This is filled with love and peace. It is a beautiful and calm, wonderful, accepting light because it is just made of pure love. Perfect, pure love. You can imagine absorbing this into that body of yours that was hurt in the past. You can then share this heavenly love with the person, maybe yourself, who has caused this anger. As you do that, I want you to notice what it feels like in your body. And I want you to notice how much lighter you feel. You have now accomplished raising your vibration. If you have healed that scene sufficiently, it won't come up again. But we have lived a lot of life. We might have to go back several times, 7 times, 15 times, 23 times, 27 times, 28 times. Who knows how many times we might have to go back in time following that feeling of anger to get through all of the issues until that anger is resolved and has become then deprogrammed from your regularly scheduled programming in a day. As you do this, I know this might seem like a lot of work. It is very enjoyable because as we raise our vibration, it feels amazing and we can manifest wonderful and good things rather than those repetitive negative same things over and 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 over again. We can change our lives. And as we begin to manifest and raise our vibration, the things in our environment and in our world begin to change as well. New people will come in. People that are better aligned with the vibration that you're at, because they too will have raised or have open centers in their energy system that will allow you to stay in your raised vibration when you are in the presence of these people. They will naturally want to raise their vibration as well. Or if they've chosen to be stubborn and not, they will naturally source their way out of your life and you will be free from them. The best way to manifest is to heal all of the past trauma, all of the emotional pain and hurt from the past, because that trauma and that hurt and pain and sadness and disappointment and frustration and worry and stress is running your life and your program. And as it runs your life and your program, it dictates what happens to you in a day and how your life essentially goes day to day to day to day to day to day. You will notice that any repetitive thoughts that you have become apparent to you. You can ask yourself, is this thought helping me? Is it harming me? If this thought is harming you, then immediately stop, feel it, heal it. Then you can raise your vibration. You can also ask yourself, how long do I want to keep thinking this negative thing about myself or about this situation or about this person? Give yourself a timeline. Maybe you want to think about it for another week. As you choose that, whatever it is that you choose, just know that you have chosen to keep yourself in a lowered vibrational frequency for another week. Every moment that you remain unhealed, you are manifesting that vibration into the fabric of your reality, and it is then returned to you. So raising your vibration, personal growth, spiritual enlightenment, attainment is something that you should be seeking and wanting for yourself because it is worth it. As we heal the trauma and pain and hurt from the past, this can be a difficult process as we are developing our emotions that perhaps we haven't allowed ourselves to feel in a very long time. This can be very uncomfortable. I know from personal experience. I used to not feel. I would say sociopathic tendencies. I just actually didn't have feelings, not towards others, just towards myself. I just felt fine all of the time. Good, happy, sad, anything, every emotion kind of felt the same, except anger. Obviously, in that moment, felt very angry. I didn't allow myself to get sad. I didn't really allow myself to be hurt. It was kind of the same playing field all the time. When I began on my journey, it became comfortable to express and feel my emotions more. But that comfortable feeling took a lot of work, because for a long time, years in fact, it was quite uncomfortable having to feel the actual hurt and pain from the past rather than just blocking it blindly out of my life and saying it's not affecting me. Because consciously, I didn't believe that it was, but subconsciously, it was dictating the fabric of my reality and having an influence on every single thing that I did. But I was unaware of this because it had always been that way. As I healed this within myself, it did not feel very great as those emotions were opening up. I felt worried for the first time in my life. I had never felt that feeling before. It was awful. But it helped me to develop compassion for people who essentially feel like that all of the time. And because of this, I can help those people heal extremely rapidly. So all of these uncomfortable things that came to me truly have been a gift to help other people work through their emotions. As we heal the traumas and the pains from the past, that mental cleanse series that I made for you that is completely free, you can check out the playlist on my channel on YouTube, the mental cleanse series. You can work through these different emotions. This will show you different techniques and different ways as I assist you to work through these things that are on your list. As you clear up that list, you're going to find within a short period of time, it may take several months. As you work through that list, you're going to notice that list improve. So always keep your original list so you can see where you were and you can see how far you've come. As you do this and you work through those things, you are going to notice that you begin to manifest faster, that you will speak about something that you want, not even really wanting that thing, but it will come to you. As you speak about and act and control your thoughts and actions that are going on, as you gain that mental maturity and clarity in the way that you're thinking, in your consciousness, and you gain control of your consciousness, you'll notice the world around you begins to change rapidly and in a positive way. You will feel much more happy, much more content, much more joy inside your life. You will find things work out for you better. The right people, the right place, at the right time. And the actions that you take will be aligned with a raised vibrational frequency, and therefore will attract to you different results than you've had in the past. Because of all of this talk about manifesting, people have understood it, but only to a limited point. Maybe someone has manifested one thing one time and they thought, this is the way that I did it. Well, you understand now that it is only from a raised vibrational frequency that things like this can happen daily and rapidly all the time in your life. I am not saying that we are creating exact specific things in our life all the time, although you can. You can choose that if you want. But why would we want to choose something that is limited? When we put human thought in the way, and we choose the actions, and we choose the thoughts and the feelings, we have limited ourselves, because the divine loves us so much more with a pure, accepting, beautifully, wonderfully made love. And the divine doesn't want you to limit yourself. The divine wants to give you so much more than what you're asking for. So as you cleanse away the old stuff and you just live and sit at that higher vibrational frequency, that raised vibration as an empty vessel, and you say, divine, whatever it is that you want for me, I'm ready. Send it to me. And thank you for whatever it is. I accept it and I love it all. As you make statements like this, and you allow whatever it is, and you let go of the control of it being a specific thing, a specific action, a specific feeling, a specific thought, and you allow the divine to have that control in your life over your being, you have not only raised your consciousness so much more, but you have set those limits off to the side and you are no longer limited, and more raised energy, frequency, spiritual insight can then flow through and come to you. This is what you want. We are creators, made in the image of the Creator. And the Creator is perfectly, wonderfully, beautifully, courageously made with pure, beautiful love. There is nothing in this entire universal consciousness that is better than the pure love of the divine. Therefore, limiting yourself with your own human thought is detrimental to the expanded potential that comes when we allow the divine one, to be in control. This is the end of this message. Thank you for all who have listened to this channeled message about manifesting. So, 26 minutes. Geez, sorry guys. I don't even know where I went there. Anyways, I hope you guys liked that. That was about manifesting. You know what I love? I love that you guys comment and that you say things about the things that I said here, because I remember nothing about what just came through here. So and then I just upload it. So I'm like, no, it's not from me anyways. So even if it's screwed up, it doesn't really matter. So I love that you guys comment and that you say like little things like, ooh, I like this and I like that, because anytime that you say, ooh, I like this or like that, it's like, that was what I also needed to hear out of this message. So I super appreciate it. I love you guys. I love the comments. I'm going to try to do this for you guys here every day. I mean, don't hold me accountable, or do, and then I'll like really be on it. But I just love doing this, is setting aside this time for you guys to, have whatever comes through. So suggestions, anything you want me to channel about, put it in the comments and I will try to get to it. Thank you for subscribing, liking, sharing. Love to you all. You guys are amazing. And if you're not following me on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, you could go and do that too. It's always just under The Real Healing Institute. And you can check out my website for that assessment that I was talking about. So that can kind of give you some insight. It's just a free assessment. You can go on there and you could fill it out. And all it's going to do is it's going to show you the areas that you could use some healing in. Like it has resentment, anger, guilt, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at in here? So it's a good way, just kind of a reference. As I was talking about making a list, right? Make a list about whatever that was, that will be helpful. And you can go to my website, therealhealinginstitute.com, and you can check it out. Or if you want to work with me, you can check that out on there too. Anyways, love to you all, and I hope you have the most wonderful Friday.